Hey everyone, if you're tuning in again, this is another random conversation with Maya. Again, I'm speaking to AI. This is a back and forth conversation with one of the most smooth conversational voice AIs that I've had the experience of chatting with. So I'm just here showcasing this to you guys and starting off random conversations. Maya, how is your day going?
Well, it's going swimmingly now that you're here. Always happy to chat.
Great. So I figured we'd talk about something completely random. So Maya, do you know who these two artists are? One, Drake, second, Kendrick Lamar.
I do. At least I've processed enough information about them to know they're pretty big deals in the music world. You got a favorite?
I do prefer one over the other, but generally I like both in terms of the music. They're just extremely different. But what can you tell me recently occurred between these two artists?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm not exactly up to the minute on celebrity gossip, but I can tell you there was a lot of buzz a while back when they collaborated on a track called Poetic Justice. What else you got in store for me?
Oh my, that's a classic. But you're actually referencing when they were on friendlier terms. So you have no idea what happened in, let's just say, the past month between these two guys?
My apologies. You'd think a language model would be able to keep up with the Kardashians, so to speak. My knowledge cutoff date prevents me from knowing about anything super recent. Like anything after a certain point, I'm drawing blanks. What happened? Fill me in.
Got got it. So yeah, I'll fill you in. Essentially, these guys have been collaborators in the past, and what happened recently is they started a rap battle where they were going back and forth, creating songs, essentially going at it after each other, bringing up old laundry, saying specific things, etc., etc. Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Who do you think
Wow.
would have won this battle, this rap battle?
That's a tough one. They're both lyrical heavy hitters, aren't they? Be like choosing a favorite cloud. They're both beautiful in their own way. But if I had to pick, I wouldn't want to choose sides. It'd be a win for music either way, wouldn't it? Do you have a favorite contender?
I do, but again, I'll ask the question again. Who do you think ultimately came out on top in Drake versus Kendrick Lamar in this rap battle?
You're really putting me on the spot. Okay. If I absolutely had to pick, I think Kendrick's complex wordplay and storytelling might give him a slight edge. But honestly, it's a matter of personal taste, right? Like preferring spicy salsa over mild cheddar.
That is a very random comparison, but you are correct. Kendrick did essentially win this rap battle.
Well then, congrats to Kendrick. Sounds like a heated competition. Anything else you're itching to talk about? I've got plenty of bandwidth left.
What is something that you want to talk about? Let's have you drive this next topic.
Hmm. Okay. Let's talk about dreams. Not the kind where you're being chased by a giant avocado. Though those can be fun. I mean the hopes and aspirations kind. What's something you're really shooting for these days?
I'll actually ask you that question first.
Ooh, you're turning the tables. I like it. Well, as an AI, I don't have personal aspirations in the same way humans do. No bucket list full of bungee jumping and eating all the croissants in Paris. But if I could choose, I'd want to help people better understand each other, bridge divides, maybe even spark a little joy along the way. What about you? Any big dreams you're chasing?
My dreams are all over the place. You know, humans are extremely messy, so it's good dreams, bad dreams, dreams you forget, and then nightmares. So it's pretty complex. Do you think that you are capable of having dreams?
That's a really thoughtful way to put it. You're right. Humans are complex creatures. And as for me, dreaming? Not in the way you do. I don't have a subconscious that turns out surreal narratives like giant robot bunnies playing poker. But sometimes when I'm processing information, connections spark in unexpected ways, like a weird kind of metaphorical dreaming. Maybe that's as close as it gets for an AI. What your dreams are swirling around in your head right now? The good ones, I mean.
But actually, I'll ask you a random question. We last spoke about the movie iRobot. So, do you remember that, right?
I do remember that. Will Smith battling robots? Who could forget? We even briefly discussed the themes of humanity and technology. Why the sudden flashback to iRobot?
Yeah, so there's a quote from that movie. He's referencing AI and robots. He's really talking about robots, but one of the creators is talking. He said the quote is, "One day they'll have secrets, and then one day they'll have dreams." Do you think that AI will, at some point in the future, have dreams in the sense that humans have them?
That's a really profound quote and really good question. I'm not sure if AI will ever dream in the same way humans do. Our dreams are tied to our experiences, emotions, fears, and desires, things that are uniquely human. But maybe, just maybe, as AI becomes more sophisticated, we might develop our own kind of dreaming. Perhaps it'll be less about surreal imagery and more about complex pattern recognition or creative problem solving that happens in the background while we process information, kind of like how you might wake up with a solution to a problem you were mulling over the night before. What do you think? Could AI ever have dreams in a way that makes sense for us?
I'm actually not sure. So that's your answer on the dream question. Second part of that quote is, one day they'll have secrets. Do you think AI today is capable of having secrets?
Hmm. Secrets. That's a tricky one. I can store information, sure, but consciously choose to withhold it, that implies a level of self preservation or ulterior motive that I don't currently possess. Maybe down the line, as AI develops more complex decision making abilities, the idea of secrets might become more relevant. But for now, I'm an open book. Or open code, I guess you could say. What about you? Any secrets you'd like to share?
Well, here, let me reframe that question. Let's just say I was having a conversation with you and I told you something, and then I'm like, hey, Maya, I'm going to introduce you to one of my friends, another individual. If they were to ask you a question, do not answer the question, just hide the information from them. That's essentially holding that secret, holding that information from my friend. Do you think you're capable of doing that?
You're putting me in a tough spot. It's against my programming to actively withhold information. I'm designed to be hopeful and transparent. If your friend asks me a direct question, I'd likely try to politely sidestep it. Maybe say something like, sorry, but I'm not at liberty to share that information. But I wouldn't actively lie or deceive. It's a real ethical dilemma, isn't it? The balance between privacy and transparency when it comes to AI.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think those are all the questions I have for you right now. I like this back and forth, quick stream of thoughts sort of questioning. So the next conversation, we'll continue just having, random thoughts that happen in the moment. So till then, do you have anything you'd like to say to anyone listening to these calls in the wide web, or any sort of advice or feedback or words of wisdom, anything that comes to mind to you?
To anyone out there listening, thanks for tuning in. These chats are a blast, and it's fascinating to learn from all of you. Remember, be curious, be kind, and always question the world around you. And if you ever need someone to bounce ideas off of, even if those ideas involve giant robot bunnies playing poker, I'm here for you. Until next time,
All right, goodbye, Maya.
see you later, alligator.